Intermittent fasting.
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 Intermittent fasting. Why is it that the fitness world these days is so obsessed with intermittent fasting? Bit of a buzzword if you ask me. I'm not a scientist. I'm not even an intermittent faster. What I am is a PT with too much time on his hands. And today I'm going to give you the most basic explanation I can give for intermittent fasting and its proposed benefits so you can decide whether you want to do it for yourself or not. Let's go. So let's start with what is intermittent fasting. In reality, it's skipping a meal. Going with a period of time without food. It's just skipping breakfast. Nothing's fancy, nothing special, it's skipping breakfast. Let's say today this table represents a day of eating. There's meant to be oatmeal in this, but I already ate my breakfast, so we're just gonna pretend. We got 8 AM over there, we got 8 PM over here. This is what a regular person's day would look like. This is what an intermittent faster's day looks like. I told you, it's skipping breakfast. You're eating your meals within an 8-hour, 6-hour window. There's a couple of different protocols you can follow when it comes to intermittent fasting. The most popular two is gonna be eating in an 8-hour window, fasting for a 16-hour window, or something called alternate day fasting, where you eat for a day, and then you eat nothing the next day. And right now you might be asking yourself, why do people intermittent fast? Breakfast's the best meal of the day. Now I've got to give intermittent fasting some points when it comes to fat loss. It can be a good way to reduce calories and get into a deficit. Unless of course you do this. You're not gonna lose fat if you're eating the same amount of calories just in a shorter window. If you don't create a calorie deficit in your fasting window, you're not gonna lose fat. When you're looking to build muscle, you wanna maximize the amount of calories and protein that you're having. Calories are gonna be there to help fuel the muscle building process, help fuel the workouts. Protein is going to be sprinkled throughout the day to make sure muscle protein synthesis continues to run all through the day and you maximize your gains.
So we've mainly spoken about fat loss and building muscle, but often intermittent fasters want to highlight the many other benefits to the age-old practice of skipping breakfast. And what are those benefits, you might ask? The most health-conscious one would have to be autophagy.
Did you say autophagy? You mean the natural process that occurs within the body when cells are deprived of nutrients and are stressed, aka cleaning out the dead cells in your body? And sure, it can be sped up by things like fasting, but it can also be sped up by a calorie deficit and exercise.
Okay, past Izzy, you got me there, but what about the mental clarity that comes from fasting?
Sure, that might be true for some people, but hey, despite what science says, everybody is different. Personally, if I go for longer than 2 or 3 hours without eating, I get hungry. When I get hungry, I lose focus because eating is the only thing I can think about. So fasting's not gonna work for me. It's not gonna give me mental clarity. So to finish off today is intermittent fasting for you. Look, if you're trying to lose weight and you find it easy to skip breakfast, to skip another meal, by all means, intermittent fast. It's an easy way to get into a calorie deficit and lose fat. If you're looking to build muscle, I don't think it's the best way to go about things. But hey, what I've tried to teach you today is that intermittent fasting can be useful, can't be useful, depends on who you are, if you find it easy, what your goal is. The most important thing is that you're doing what works for you. So try fasting, and if it works, by all means, stick with it. And if it doesn't, well, just go back to eating like a normal person. Yes, I said normal person. That's all for today.